Shady, I'm watching the game. I got to be honest and do my job. Cowboys put the NFL on notice. Ooh. Cowboys put the world on notice. And here is why.
Maybe so.
They came out there and they dominated from beginning to the end. This was one of those games that reminded the entire world just how good the Cowboys are capable of being when they play up to their standard and when they play Cowboys football. Micah Parsons, he did a good job getting sacks and doing what he does. Yeah. Dak Prescott, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception off a tip. I understand that did happen, but 300 yards. More importantly, Dak Prescott 4 touchdown passes in one game versus a team that had given up 4 touchdown passes the entirety of the season. Special teams, they got busy. Block punt, took another punt to the cribbo. They just had to call it back because of a meaningless block in the back call. The Cowboys let everybody know just how good they are when they are playing Cowboys football. I was paying attention. And if you weren't paying attention, I will make sure you pay attention to the next 15 minutes of this conversation. But, Shady, let me ask you, did the Cowboys put the NFL on notice?
I don't know about the NFL, but I'm going to say no for myself. No, it's the same old Cowboy team. See, this is the problem on this show. I'm going to say on this show, right?
Not any other show.
Not my show, on this show. Every time a team has a great performance, y'all want to praise them. And I thought you learned your lesson. Obviously, you didn't. When the Cowboys beat the Giants, they beat the Giants, right? It was like 40-0.
40
what did you say? The next week, what you do? You came up here
with the best teams in football.
That's what you said.
Yes, sir.
Right? And then when they lost to a good team like the Niners, what you do?
That was bad.
You took it back.
Yes, sir, I had to.
We got to learn that. Update your information, right?
Important to do.
So the Cowboys beat on a 3-4 Rams team.
Sure.
That's what they did,
sure.
right? And it's NFL, you know, it's hard to win games.
It is very.
Bad or good. But that's what they beat on, at home at that. Off of bye week, correct? Most teams are more prepared and more healthy after bye week. That's what it is. So they beat a bad team off the bye week, and now we're praising them as one of the best teams in football because they had that performance. You know what's funny?
What's funny?
Aaron Donald's one of my good friends.
Yep.
I won't call him my best friend. One of my good friends, right? He went to Pitt, I went to Pitt. You know, we hang out, talk all the time. And I texted him yesterday or 2 days ago, right before the game, Friday. And we were joking. I said, yo, you know what's crazy, man? You guys are having a solid year. Not a good, but a solid year. I'm trying to be nice. He's my friend. They're having a bad year. I'm trying a solid year. But I seen your coordinator, I read your coordinator. Now I'm on TV. I do a lot of reading and researching. Your defense coordinator said, yeah, man, with this defense right here, we have Aaron Donald and a bunch of guys. Aaron, what's that mean? So you telling me that you want to brag about the Cowboys putting the league on notice because they beat a 3-4 Rams team, and the defense that Dak Prescott and the Cowboys went against is Aaron Donald and a bunch of guys. You hear what I'm saying?
I hear you. So they're solid against the Eagles, though. They done played a lot of people tough.
Listen, I hear you. But when a coordinator tells you, yeah, we got Aaron Rodgers and a bunch of guys. Huh? That's not a good team. They're 3-4 for a reason, Acho.
I hear you.
So when they play my boys this weekend, when the boys play my boys this weekend, then you can parade around. They're the best team if they beat us. If they beat us at home, then you can parade about it. If you can't do that, then don't do it, please. Don't put the 3-4 Rams.
Joy, I was put on notice. I have to be honest, I was put on notice because winning is hard, but how you win is even more impressive. And they dominated the Rams. At one point in time, America, the score was 33-3. Shady, put the weapon down. Put the weapon, the flag
Trying to rep for the Eagles
down.
by any means.
Wrong block.
Joy, the Cowboys, did they put the NFL on notice?
I think they only put the NFL on notice if the NFL didn't think that the Cowboys were a really good team. I thought the Cowboys were a really good team. It's spooky week. Let's go back in time for a second. Can we do that?
Can we go back?
I'm with it.
Neither one of y'all got the Cowboys on your list? You get a bye week and then the Browns are better than the Cowboys? I was confused about Micah's list yesterday.
I don't feel about his list because Micah, he didn't have them in the top 5.
You're right. Maybe some. You're right.
Yeah, I'm going off of Micah.
I bet Micah has him up there this week.
He should.
Yeah,
he should. The Cowboys are a good team. They're one of the best teams in the NFC. That's a whole conference, not just the division, the whole conference. Prior to this week, you had the Cowboys as top 5 in the NFC, correct? Even if you didn't have them top 5 on your list, you had them top 5 in the NFC. You had them maybe 3rd in the NFC, maybe? Maybe third, fourth?
Yeah,
okay,
fourth.
probably feel like maybe they're a little higher this week based off of some other information that we've gotten from other teams. So to say you put them on notice, you just didn't think that the Cowboys were capable of this. Everyone had to know the Cowboys were capable of this. Now, I slightly disagree with Shady. I think this is the best win that they've had all year. Because I would listen to week one because it was 40-0. But I think I'm more impressed by this win because I think more highly of the Rams than I do the Giants, certainly now. They still have a Super Bowl winning coach. They still have Aaron Donald. They still have a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
They do.
They might have some other guys, but to me, this is the most impressive win that the Cowboys have had this year. Not just because they were dominant from start to finish, but everybody contributed. It wasn't just the defense putting up points. The offense looked great. Dak had a good game. It was a complete team win against a team that, at the very least, I have respect for pieces that they have. They're not as good as I expected them to be, but they still are coached well, and they still have two very big stars. So, to me, they didn't put me on notice because I already knew they were capable of doing this.
Yeah, this was their most impressive win, right? Because if we talk about week one, a lot of people could say, well, Dak didn't do nothing. The defense scored all them points, had them in really good field position, right? Dak 4 touchdown passes, defense went off, special teams went off. This is their most complete win. But for me, the answer is no. They did not put the league on notice. If we could go back, no, I'm playing. I had them. I had Jets, Cowboys in the Super Bowl. So I'm not surprised by this. We shouldn't be surprised by this. The Cowboys should really expect themselves to go out there and dominate football games like this. I know Cowboys fans and all that, any win they could get, they're going to take off and run with it, whether it's 7 points, whether it's 37 points. But at the end of the day, kind of like Shady's saying, this is a Rams team that we don't expect to go far. No. This is a Cowboys team that we expect that has the talent on the roster to be Super Bowl caliber team. You should dominate football games like this. Your quarterback should play well in football games like this. So for me, I was watching the game like, this is the Cowboys. This is the Cowboys that I picked to go to the Super Bowl. This is the Cowboys when they made all those additions in the offseason. We said, this is the type of team that they can be. And they put it all together on Sunday and dominated a solid Rams team that's been playing well against some good opponents. They played well against Philly. They played well against the Niners. And the Cowboys came out there and beat them up and played well in all three phases. It was impressive, but they did not put it on notice.
I have a question for the left side of the table because I'm curious as to my bad, 2-5, as to how you all weren't surprised by this performance. I obviously think the Cowboys are a very good team. Consistently think they're a good team.
I do too, yeah.
But 33-3 isn't good.
No, it's great.
It's great. At minimum, it's great. Yeah. At best, it's elite or unheard of or unheralded. But at minimum, it's great. You score a defensive touchdown on, like, the third possession. Dak Prescott goes out, 75-yard touchdown drive, opening possession. This wasn't just like, oh, yeah, I expect the Cowboys to do this. No, I don't expect anybody to do this, quite literally. Yeah. I don't expect the Chiefs to beat the Rams or be up against the Rams 33-3. I don't expect the Niners to be up. I don't expect the Eagles. 33-3 is wild. Now, the final score, obviously, 43-20. But, James, I'll start with you. How were you not, even if you picked them to win the Super Bowl or go in the Super Bowl, how were you not even surprised by this? Well, that was crazy dominant.
I mean, I owe Shady and the table dinner because I thought this Cowboys team was like that from the get-go. But, I mean, like I said, I'm not surprised because I expected this. I really did expect the Cowboys to play good football like this. I expected Dak Prescott to play good football like this. Before this season started, I expected Dak Prescott to not turn the football over like he turned the football over. I expected this offense and Dak Prescott to be better under Coach Mike McCarthy. We know what they did on the defensive side of the ball even before Diggs got hurt. I expected him to be dominant on the defensive side of the ball. And then after week one, we all was drooling on him to be dominant. So I always felt like this was in the Cowboys, and we really seen it this year. Like, we seen it week one, them play this well. Obviously, not on the offensive side of the ball in that 40-0, but we seen them put together some dominant performance. The first 2 weeks was dominant performances. So that's why I'm sitting there watching it like, why can't we get this Cowboys team every week? I'm not talking about 33-3. I'm just talking about the level of play, right? We broke down tape of the Niner game of receivers getting D'd up. You know what plays was ran yesterday? The same plays that was ran in the Niners game. But you know who was winning? CD ran one on slants. My man, Brandon Cooks run one on the go routes. Yep. Easy throws for Dak, but it's the same plays. They just were winning, but that's what I expected.
No, I don't want to talk about the easy schedule in the NFL. I don't want to talk about that was my goal. Sorry, I didn't even know that was my goal. Anyway, one thing I will say about the Cowboys is that I thought they were a good team. When we've seen them in camp, you know, the players they got, the new additions, the defense they already had, they brought in Brandon Cooks. I knew it was going to be a good team. I knew that. So they didn't put me on notice. But the thing about the Cowboys that I don't understand with people loving the Cowboys so much when they have these type of performances, they did the same thing with the Giants, right? They did the same thing with a team like the Giants. It's probably a little better. The issue with the Cowboys is not who they play. It's who they play and what player is going to be affected most. And that player is Dak Prescott. He does great against the weak teams. He do that. No, I mean, the Rams don't get no pressure. Aaron, they got AD, that's it. No pressure's back there. He can do what he want. Special teams play a big role. Defense play good. Yeah, he's good with teams like that. It's the teams that create the pressure. They can score at will. They have long drives on offense. Put pressure on the quarterback to put some stats up, put some yards up, put some touchdowns up. That's what Dak struggles. Last year in the playoffs, he smoked the Bucks. They're a bad team. Smoked them. Cool. Who next?
Niners.
Everybody praise them. They played the Niners, a good team. The same thing happened last year. Well, it was worse last year, or worse this year than last year. But it's the same results. It's the team that he plays. There's no pressure for Dak Prescott. There's going to be pressure this weekend, though. Believe that.
It's not surprising because I expect the Cowboys to be in the playoffs.
Right.
Like, week to week, the Cowboys winning or losing is not going to change my opinion of them until it becomes a streak or a habit. The habits that they have been putting on tape still remain the same. So the questions that I had about them from week one is still a question I have about them now. They're 29th in the red zone touchdown efficiency. That's what the facts say, even with that game yesterday. That's where they rank. Every team in the league has deficiencies somewhere. There's no great team this year. There's no great team. I think the Eagles are the best team in the league. There's still questions about what they can do. There's still questions about how they're playing. So there is no great team. I can't be shocked that the Cowboys went out and did that. The Cowboys had a Super Bowl caliber team last year, and many of us feel like they're better this year. I just want to say this. I don't want to hear about CeeDee Lamb not being a #1 receiver. Can we stop having that conversation, please? If you want to praise how good the Cowboys look, that's what?
Yeah.
CeeDee nice. CeeDee Lamb is nice.
#1 receiver?
He had a good day.
He's a number. They hate on him. He's the #1 receiver, bro.
He was all pro last year.
I didn't hate on him.
Hard to do. He's nice.
Player.
Man, CeeDee Lamb is nice.
CeeDee Lamb is a #1 receiver.
Yeah, good player.
Okay. I'm not entertaining a conversation about CeeDee Lamb anymore. CeeDee Lamb is a #1 receiver.
Yes, he is.
He is. He is a #1 receiver. Michael Parsons is what I'm not. I mean, this it is. It's what it is. Would you argue that Dak Prescott needs more help after yesterday's game?
No.
Not in yesterday's game. He don't need more help.
Anywhere on the field. Anywhere on the field. Bland has 3 pick sixes this year.
You called him out. Yeah, he's nice.
This team is filled with talent. It is complex. It is well coached.
No question.
Across the board. So there's no reason why yesterday should be surprising. And it sounds like shade, but it's not. I think that the Cowboys are a really good team. I expect them to be in the playoffs. All my questions about the Cowboys, unfortunately for the fact that we do a daily show, remain in the postseason. I know Dak Prescott can win playoff games. I've watched him do it. I know this Cowboys team can be great during the regular season. I've watched them do it. I know that they can make it to the postseason. I know they can win the division. I know Dak can put up big numbers like he did yesterday. I've watched them do it. My questions about the Cowboys remain for the postseason. So no, I'm not going to be shocked week to week if they're able to put up a performance like yesterday.
Here's my thought. What you said the Cowboys are a really good team, so you're not surprised. James, you're not surprised.
Yeah.
Who are the other give me like one other really good team in football.
Eagles.
Great. I just said that.
Yeah.
What's the Eagles' best win this year?
Dolphins.
By 14 points.
Say Dolphins.
Say Dolphins. Also Dolphins by 14 points.
Yeah.
I would say the Chiefs, really good team.
I like Dolphins. I say Dolphins.
I would say Dolphins, 14 points. Yeah. I would say the Chiefs, a really good team. They beat the Bears by 31 points. Outside of beating the Bears by 31 points, the Chiefs have won every game by 1 possession. Yeah. So the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, where you going there?
The point I'm trying to make is even really good teams don't dominate like the Cowboys dominate.
That's
the point I'm trying to make.
That makes sense. But what happens when that team that's dominating plays another dominant team? Then what happens?
Great question.
They got dominated.
Sure.
That's crazy. So as much as they're dominating these little teams that y'all talking about, I'm happy about. Soon, okay, whatever it is. Soon you play another top team. All week we can talk about the Niners and the Cowboys. We talked about it all week. It's gonna be a great game. They had their backup team by the third quarter.
You're not wrong, James. You got a question.
I do. I got a question because you're really high on this topic right here.
Yes, sir.
What was the difference between the 40-point week 1
Giants,
then this week that impressed you even more than week 1 because you seem really high on this?
So week 1 was such a distant time ago. Since that, what has occurred? The Cowboys got the brakes beat off of them by the Niners. That occurred. The Cowboys squeaked by the Chargers by 3. That occurred. So I haven't seen a Cowboys blowout, I think, since the Patriots 38-3, and the Patriots we obviously know isn't that great a team. So the reason I was put on notice, once again, Joy, is more or less like, oh, that was such a long time ago. They still got that in them? Oh, wow. And I think the Rams are better than the Giants. I don't know about the Jets.
I don't know. I don't give too much credence to blowout style points type of things in the NFL. Like, you win the game, you win the game. You can have a hard-fought battle and win by 1 point. That counts just the same as the blowout win 70-20. And that team can get blown out as well, as the Dolphins did. So it is a week-to-week league, and you have to look at the whole of what you are. What are you consistently? If you are consistently finding ways to win games, maybe you are better than the team that occasionally blows out a struggling team on a struggling day. Right. So to me, it's more about what the Cowboys do consistently. The Cowboys do win a lot of regular season games. They have a lot of talent. The question for me always remains and always comes down to, and we're just unfortunately not going to be able to find out until later on in the season, what do you do when it matters most? Because with all of this so far, what we've seen from the Cowboys is we have all this talent, we have all this momentum, you win all these regular season games, and when it comes down to the biggest moment, you don't come through. We just won't be able to find out if they've changed that until the postseason.
Now, is the only way to change that in your mind, 2-5, and in your mind, Joy, winning it all? Because it's almost like, what do you do when it matters most?
Just get there. Can you get there?
Get to it.
Yeah, get to it. Because my thing is, like, we can always talk about how great they did against the Rams, against the Giants, against the Patriots. We can always talk about that. But when we need you to play your best, Andy Reid would always say this. He said, I need my star players to play best against the best teams. Our stars against their stars. Now, you know, Dak Prescott, he's a star for the Cowboys. You playing the, who they play again?
The Rams.
Yeah, play the Rams, 3 and 4 Rams. You'll be good. You know, you'll be good. I need you best when we playing Brock Purdy and the Niners. I need you best when we playing Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. I need you best at that. Our best can stay best.
Here's what frustrates me, Joy, about what Shady and what you all are saying is, who is immune to the criticism y'all are giving Dak? The only names I can think of that are immune to that is Patrick Mahomes, is Jalen Hurts, kind of, and is Josh Allen, because even in his loss against Patrick Mahomes in 2020, at least he played well.
Right.
But outside of that, Lamar Jackson when it matters most. He ain't very good. Deshaun Watson when it matters most. He hadn't been very good. Justin Herbert when it mattered most. He wasn't very good. Joe Burrow when it mattered most. Look at Joe Burrow statistically on the run to the Super Bowl. So what names of quarterbacks 30 and under?
I mean, now we got to do it, because I didn't say nothing bad about Dak the whole show till now, right?
Yes, you got to do what you got to do.
I didn't say nothing bad about him. I said all nice things. Cowboys going to hear something different.
That was some good
I said
stuff out
nice
your game,
things
though.
all show, right? Now I got to hate.
Let me see.
Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl with the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals that we think of as good now, not good. Won 2 games, correct? 2 games before he got there, the year before. He took them to the Super Bowl 2 years later. Josh Allen has played in the AFC Championship game. Lamar Jackson is a unanimous MVP
Not when
in
it
this.
mattered most.
Unanimous MVP in this league, okay? So maybe they're on the same page. They're on the same page. I got a unanimous MVP. Go on ahead and sit down. Because what Dak Prescott and the Cowboys haven't done is sniffed an NFC Championship game in almost 30 years. So when you talk about the criticism, you are what you are until you're not. You're not a champion until you're a champion. You're not a pro until you're a pro. You're not an all-pro until you're an all-pro. There's levels to this. So Dak Prescott is a franchise quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. He had a great game yesterday. The Cowboys dominated. Congrats, congrats, congrats. Not surprising to me, because I've seen Dak Prescott do that. We criticize the hell out of Justin Herbert.
Yes,
we
do.
criticize the hell out of Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson hasn't even gotten the full smoke that he will get at the end of this season if they don't turn it around in Cleveland. We're just waiting to see what happens. And Lamar Jackson gets criticized plenty as well.
Yes, he do.
On top of the fact that he was a unanimous league MVP. He got that in the register. So it's not about who gets criticized like Dak Prescott. Everybody gets smoke. Everyone gets smoke.
I like Dak, though.
I mean, wait.
Okay, but that's not fair, because Dak Prescott is not on those levels. Dak Prescott is not on the level of Josh Allen.
Dak Prescott plays really good football,
too,
though.
Does,
and at the end of the day, none of those dudes won a Super Bowl.
That's the only where I get confused.
Yeah, none of them won a Super Bowl. It's a lot of people accomplished a lot of stuff in this league, right? Just because you ain't all-pro or won a Super Bowl, Dak has won a lot of football games in this league. Joe Burrow has won a lot of games in this league, and none of them has won the big one.
Okay, but if you haven't gotten to an NFC Championship game, you are not immune to the criticism. What are we talking about here? It's hard to get to a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts was an all-pro and took the Eagles to a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow took the Cincinnati Bengals to a Super Bowl. Josh Allen has played in the AFC Championship game. All these other guys get criticized, too. We don't criticize these other guys?
Hey, we do criticize them, just
we don't
not
criticize them the way we
criticize.
Come on, that's crazy.
The same way that we look at a Kirk Cousins, right? Can we say that Kirk Cousins and Dak are similar?
Similar.
They're similar, right? They're very close. We don't never really talk much about Kirk Cousins. You know why?
Yeah, we talked about that, though, because it's
But do you know
on
why?
the helmet.
Play for the Dallas Cowboys,
No doubt.
the biggest brand in
Blessing and a
sports.
curse. Blessing
So
and a
my
curse.
thing is, we talk about Dak so much because he ain't super talented. He ain't super talented at all.
Yeah,
You can find that type of talent anywhere. I think I'm just saying keep going. I'm saying he is a solid, above average quarterback.
Yep.
We can say that, though,
Yep.
right? That's good. You be a good quarterback that's above average. All I'm saying is that the reason why we give him so much criticism and we talk about him so much because he played for the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because if he played for the Vikings, we would treat him like Kirk Cousins.
Fair.
Yes.
But if Kirk played for the Cowboys, because Kirk got numbers too now.
Kirk got numbers.
He got numbers.
A lot
So
of them.
we would talk about Kirk like we talk about Dak if he played for the Cowboys. That's all it is.
No doubt.
It ain't like no talent.
It's all it is.
Yeah.
And we absolutely criticize all those other guys as well.
I definitely do.
They get plenty of smoke. Dak Prescott is in his 8th season. He has 2 career playoff wins.
And I hate to say this, well, you talk about Lamar Jackson. I love Lamar Jackson.
Me too.
If you look at the Lamar Jackson wide receivers and you look at Dak Prescott's, what we talking about? One thing Jerry Jones, I'm gonna say in general, his career, One thing that Jerry, I know y'all don't like Jerry as much. I love Jerry. I love the way he talks. I ask. One thing he does, he gets him some players. Cowboys gonna have some players. They're gonna have some players though. They're gonna have that.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.